Franklin is a survivor.
Whoever did this was close, knew everywhere we was at. This empire, it's gonna crumble.
FX's Snowfall.
Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Snowfall, episode 5, season 5, and yes, hello Parissa. And absolutely, we're gonna get into this. This one definitely was an action-packed episode, and I'm gonna break it down today. Definitely, if you're brand new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely like, comment below. And yes, we're gonna get into this. So yeah, this one was pretty intense, and we're gonna break it down. Let's go. So the name of this one is the Iliad Part 1. And we see your boy Franklin. He's at the office with Veronique, and she's on the phone. You know, she's wheeling and dealing, handling deals. And yes, they got the commercial property downtown, and they are super happy about that. Absolutely, Veronique, she's making things happen. I like the way she's doing it. She's making big moves. At the same time, she's letting Franklin know, yeah, the 10 million, we don't need to go in by ourselves. We need to definitely get the other investors. And you know who that is. You know who Franklin went to. That's right. He went to speak to Aunt Lou and Uncle Jerome. Now, of course, now is the time for them to sign on the dotted line. He already called, you know, the banks and everything. They're ready to transfer the money. All she has to do is make the call, sign the deal. He pretty much set everything up. So, yeah, they got the same deal as Franklin, but it doesn't look like Aunt Louie is with it. It doesn't look like Uncle Jerome and Aunt Louie are with it. So, because of that, their hesitation, yeah, Franklin and Veronique, they sweeten the deal and only say, yeah, all you have to do is just put down a percentage, not just $10 million, not $10 million, but a percentage of it. And, you know, he's like, yeah, that's all you got to do. Just sign the paperwork and let's do this. And Aunt Louie's on some like, well, we didn't say we were going to invest. We said that we were thinking about investing. And of course, Franklin is just like, listen, I know we had beef and everything else like that, but this is going to be a great deal. I'm just offering you a great deal. And yeah, Veronique is trying to, you know, let him know that it's going to be all good. And yeah, it's just a percentage that you need to put down. But Aunt Louie, Uncle Jerome, they are not budging. And really, you know, Franklin is on some like, yo, I'm trying to hook y'all up. Like what is going on? Trying to get some legitimate deals going on. But Aunt Louie's basically like, yo, we understand you have dreams, but your dreams are not our dreams. And yeah, Aunt Louie's just really standing her ground on this. Like, this could be a great deal, but they don't really trust Franklin with all the decisions that he has been making over the many years that have been backfiring on them. So yeah, Franklin is definitely not happy about that at all. And Aunt Louie's just like, yeah, we're going to keep our $10 million and not really invest in with you. Of course, he's upset about it because he wants his family to be in on it. But at the same time, he doesn't want to put most of his money up as well. Like, you know, this is a big deal. And he doesn't want to put most of his money. That's taking most of the risk. So yeah, your girl, Veronique, she's trying to calm him down, do some meditation. And she's like, you know what? Maybe she needs somebody else to talk to that may convince her, right? So now we have, yes, Sissy and the Cuban national, right? This guy's talking to her and she's like, okay, so what's the next step? This guy pulls out a pen, which is a recorder, right? And he's like, listen, put this in Franklin's office. You know, in order to get Teddy, we need to know everything that's going on with those people who are connected to Teddy, right? So we need to know all the deals. I mean, this guy, man, he doesn't have good intentions. He's trying to trick Sissy into basically ratting on her son. So she's like, listen, I'm all about taking down Teddy, you know, bringing him in and you guys handle him, but I'm not going to rat out my own son with any activity that he's doing. You know, I'm here to protect my family. And that's how it's going down. And the guy's like, listen, I know, I understand, you don't really know me, but in order to move this thing forward, hey, if we got to slow down, we'll slow down. We'll slow down and we'll take it step by step. But here, I'm going to leave the pen with you, and what you do with it is up to you, right? So now we got Franklin, we got Osso, and we got your boy Teddy. Of course, they're at the drop. They're doing the exchange and everything. Of course, Teddy got questions because it's a new guy driving around Franklin. So he's like, who's this guy? And he lets him know. He's like, what happened to Peaches? Peaches is sick. So yeah, we got a new guy just driving him around, handling the deal as well. But Teddy, of course, doesn't trust anybody. But, Franklin, again, is letting him know, listen, you got to take care of your people or your people going to sneak behind your back. So yeah, Teddy's listening to what he's saying, but of course, he's not comfortable with this whole deal. Now, boom, what happens? Out of nowhere, a van comes out of nowhere, springing at Franklin and Teddy. They're running behind the cars. I mean, these guys got the strap. We don't know exactly who they are, but these guys are coming full force. Teddy is firing back, trying to protect himself behind the car, but boom, Teddy gets shot. Oh man, he gets shot in the shoulder, it looks like, and it's pretty bad. So he gets in the car and drives away, just gets out of that whole situation. Osso is shooting back as well. Osso gets in the back of Franklin's car, but he gets shot as well in the arm. And yeah, Franklin's just trying to get up out of there. So he gets in the car, backs up, drives right into the van to try to get away. And what happens? Yeah, they get away. So they pull over because the car is like overheating and everything. And yeah, Franklin's like, yo, we got to go. We got to get up out of here. They see some, signs, gang signs on the wall. And Osso doesn't know who they are at all. So you know what? They grab the money. That's right. They got 2 bags, $3 million on the street. They throw it on their back. And yeah, it's time to run the streets and get up out of there and just take the back roads to get away. Meanwhile, yeah, Teddy, he's in the car driving with his left arm because he got shot in his right shoulder. Man, he is in so much pain. He's throwing up on the side of the road. He's almost hitting poles and stuff. So he goes to the back to get the $3 million worth of product, and he gets some of it just to numb the pain, right? That's what happens. You get some of the product, it'll numb the pain that he has externally and internally. So he's feeling a little better, but not really. He's in bad shape. Teddy is in real bad shape, and he can barely drive. I mean, he's really messed up. Obviously, he never got shot before. So yeah, we see Osso and Franklin, they're walking the street like they're taking a nice stroll, but yeah, they out to get him, right? So now we sit down at lunch, and we got your girl Veronique, we got Sissy, we got Aunt Louie, and we got Jerome. And yeah, she's apologizing. Veronique's apologizing to Aunt Louie that Franklin couldn't make it because he had to do some business. She's like, I don't need you to apologize for him, and I don't need to have the same conversation. I'm out here sweating my edges out, right? So Jerome is just sitting there listening, and Sissy's not there to convince her to do the deal with Franklin. She's there to talk to her about making other moves and really thinking about getting out of the game because it doesn't look good. Things are not looking good, and Cece knows what's coming because, she is working with that Cuban national guy. So she's trying to get them and convince them to get out of the game. Meanwhile, we see Franklin and Osso, and they finally get to a payphone. This is 1986, so they don't have cell phones, anything like that. So he's paging everybody, right? He's paging Jerome, he's paging Leon, he's paging everybody. Meanwhile, Osso's looking around just to make sure that nobody's coming after them. So he's paging them from different phones just so somebody will pick them up. So now back at lunch, we see that Sissy is still talking to Aunt Louie, and she's really trying to let her know that this whole empire, this whole thing is about to fall down. She's trying to give them a heads up as to what's about to happen without telling them exactly who she's working with. And again, that's kind of shady, right? That Sissy's working with this Cuban national, and at the same time, boom, it's like, man, she's not telling anybody anything. So Jerome, he gets a page. He gets that 911 page from Franklin. He's looking at Aunt Lou while Sissy is talking. And he's not trying to be rude, but he's like looking at her. So she gets a page too. They're looking at each other. And it's like, all right, you go ahead and make the call. So yeah, I mean, Sissy, they get that 911 call from Franklin. This is not normal at all for Franklin to be paging them. So she's looking at Jerome like, okay, yeah, this must be serious because we both getting pages at the same time. So Sissy again is letting them know, listen, this empire is about to crumble. So y'all need to think about getting out of the game as quick as possible. She's trying to give him a heads up. So Jerome, he gets up to go to the payphone to call Franklin back. Because obviously it's a 911 call, right? So he goes to the payphone and there's somebody on it. See, back in the day, if somebody was on it, you had to pretty much wait till they got off the phone. So you ask him, yo, how long you got? How long you got? But the guy, he ignores Jerome. Like, yeah, let me keep talking to you or whatever. So now we shoot over to Leon, and Leon is talking to his boys. He's talking to Big Dion, and he's talking to Einstein. And he's like, you know, it's the law for us to have, you know, straps and everything else like that, you know, according to this and according to that. And, you know, Big Dion is like, yo, tell that to the cops when they pull us over. You know what I'm saying? You want to pull out laws? They don't care about that. So, you know, Leon's just talking about using the law against them. Meanwhile, yeah, Leon's getting the page, but his pager is on the desk, so he doesn't even hear it while they're talking, right? It's probably buzzing, it's on vibrate. So yeah, they're talking about getting more straps. Now, Franklin and Osso, they're waiting for them to call back, right? Your boy Jerome just pushes the dude off the phone like, get out of here, dog. You know what I'm saying? And he's calling Franklin back, right? So Franklin's looking around, and yeah, there's some vatos walking up because they see that these guys, you know, Franklin and Osso, they standing out, right? Like a sore thumb. They in their hood. So these vatos are coming over. Franklin answers the phone. Jerome is on the other line. He's like, yeah, I need a pickup. They try to hit us at the spot. And he's like, yo, where you at, right? So just as Franklin is about to tell him where exactly he is, and he hears where he is, Jerome sees these guys rolling up with the straps about to do a drive-by on him and the family. So he runs, and Franklin is like, yeah, yo, Jerome, you there? So Jerome's like, get down, get down. He's about to pull out the strap. Of course, you see Aunt Louie, she's like, get down, everybody get down. Franklin's like, hey, Jerome, you still there? And then, of course, he hears the gunshots, he hears the straps, he hears all of that going on, and these guys are spraying the restaurant. So they go for cover. Meanwhile, the vatos roll up on Osso and Franklin. He's like, yo, what's in the bag? It must be money or something. Franklin pulls out the strap, but he has no rounds, he has no bullets in the strap. But they get scared and run off, except for the one young guy, and he's not scared. He's not scared at all. I mean, he's not scared of nothing, right? So Franklin about to get at him, and then these other cats behind him, these older guys, about to pull out their straps. And your boy Osso was like, run. Dun, 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 dun. He's like, run, get up out of here. So they run off, and they run after him. Meanwhile, at the aftermath of the restaurant, man, listen, guys, they sprayed the place, taking innocent lives out in the whole nine. Meanwhile, the fam is okay. You know, Veronique, she's getting up. She's pulling up Sissy, right? Just trying to get everybody together. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And I don't know. It doesn't look like Veronique is all shook up that much. But, of course, Sissy is. So they're like, yo, we got to get out of here. And Veronique is on some like, yo, give me the straps. Give me the straps. I'm going to put it in my bag. Don't worry about it. Just give me the straps. I mean, she seems to be calm, cool, and collected with all of this, all right? So, yeah, the cops pull over, and they see, of course, Jerome and Aunt Louie. They're like, yeah, all right, stay right there, stay right there. And they're trying to explain or whatever, and they're like, nah, they know exactly who they are. They're like, put your hands up, put your hands up. And, yeah, they stick them up right there on the spot, man. Like, the police are very familiar with who Aunt Louie is, who Jerome is. And, yeah, it looks kind of crazy, right? So now they're sitting down. The guy tries to talk to Veronique, and she's like, oh, I'm so upset. It's like, she's pregnant. You know, leave her alone. So then, you know, Aunt Louie's like, listen, I'm the CI for, you know, Bo Buckley. You know, he's the lead officer on this. You know, if you call him, everything's going to be all right. He'll explain. And she's like, do you need his phone number or his beeper number, whatever, right? So here enters Parissa, and she is jogging, right? And I don't know, you may have seen her in the last season, right? Or the season before that. But yeah, she runs to her house and she sees some blood on her walkway. And she goes ahead and she gets the shovel from the side of her house, right? So she goes in the house and she's like, who's bleeding coming into my house, right? And of course, we know who it is. It's your boy Teddy, laid out in her kitchen, all bloodied up, right? And she's like, Thomas, I haven't seen you in such a long time, you know? And yeah, I mean, he's just messed up. Like Teddy, yeah, he got shot in the shoulder, but man, this dude, he's feeling it bad. So she's like, it's good to see you. You know, you stop sending the money and you stop communicating, everything else like that. And, you know, she works at a hospital, so she grabs some gloves and she's like, yeah, I need to grab some gloves. Got to be careful with the blood because one of the nurses caught HIV just from the blood. You know, can you believe that? Get HIV without the fun? So she's looking at it and yeah, he got it bad, like it's in. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm going to get some supplies or whatever. And she grabs some salt, right? She's like, yeah, you got to stay awake. She grabs a salt box and yeah, she throws salt on his wound. This guy, of course, Teddy, he is screaming like, ah. And she's like, yeah, nothing keeps you awake more than pain. So she's like, yeah, put some pressure on it. I'll be back. I mean, man, she is ruthless for real. So now we see the fellas, right? We see Leon, Big Dion, Einstein, they're meeting up with your boy Avi, and he has that heavy artillery that Leon was requesting, right? So he's like, yeah, he had to jump through hoops, but he got a couple of things. He tried to get some other things, but it didn't work out because something was in demand. So Leon's like, hey, listen, man, like, yeah, this is cool, but, you know, I'm gonna need some regular straps or whatever. While he's talking, another car comes by. This is the third hit now, coming at Leon, Dion, and Avi and all of them. Like, who knows that this meeting was happening, right? Who is on the inside that is giving up this information where now they got to protect themselves and shoot back or whatever, man? I mean, yeah, these guys are driving by and they are spraying up the block. Avi, of course, you know, they already got the straps, so they're using the straps to protect their storefront. Yeah, you know, Dion, he's shooting back as well, but I don't know. There's something about Dion that's kind of giving me, you know, like snitch vibes or whatever. But anyway, we see that your boy Leon shooting back, whatever. Yeah, they catch one dude who was hanging outside of the car. He's on the ground now. They running up on him and everything else like that. And yeah, Leon is like, hold up, like, who is that? Like, what's going on? So they pull, you know, the mask off his face. And yeah, they left one behind and the car just skated off. Of course, Leon is like, yo, this is real suspect. Like, who is really on the inside giving out these tips to these people? So, yeah, we got your boy, Franklin and Osso. They are still underneath that house, hiding from the Vatos and everything. And, yeah, he was like, man, I just got a call a week ago that everything was all good, that could change my family's life. And Osso was just, like, talking to him on some, like, for real, like, who could it possibly be? And then he's thinking, of course, about Veronique and the baby. So he tells Osso, yeah, you know, we're pregnant. And Osso's happy about that. You know, he has kids, you know, that he took in or whatever. But, yeah, he's happy about that. You know, he's thinking about his future. Franklin's thinking about his future and what's going to happen and really how he's going to get out of this game. So they're like, okay, it's quiet. Let's leave. But Franklin's like, yo, leave the money behind. We'll come back for it later. So they jump out of that little hole, little box, you know, little entrance to the underneath the house, and then they get out of there. Now, again, back at the restaurant, yeah, we see, you know, the ambulance and the police, and yeah, Sissy and Veronique, they're just looking on, just staying cool. But yeah, Aunt Louie, Uncle Jerome, they just sitting there, and yeah, you know who shows up? Bo Buckley shows up, the lead guy on the crash unit. He shows up because they call him. So he's like, yo, who is coming after you guys? Like, do you have a clue? And Jerome's like, yo, that's what we want to find out. You know, are we good? Can we leave now? You know, can we get up out of here? He's like, yeah, you can leave as soon as you give me, you know, a thank you or something. And Jerome is like, man, thank you for what? You know, what for, you know, basically taking care of you. You come to the club, we give you a little drinks, we give you a little girl, we give you some product or whatever. Like, how about, we fight right now and I bust you to the white meat, right? And she's like, come on, Jerome. He's like, nah, it's all right. If somebody was shooting at me, I would kind of feel upset too. So he's waiting for his thank you or whatever. So Aunt Louie's like, all right, thank you. We appreciate it. Come on, Jerome. Let's go. And Jerome ain't playing. He really wants to buck him down. He really wants to take him down because, remember they came through the hood and embarrassed, Jerome and all of them, yet he's supposed to be on their side. So Jerome really wants to get at Bo. One way or another, something's going to happen. Now, back at Parissa's house, she's taking that shell out of Teddy. And Teddy, he's out of it, right? She pretty much gave him some stuff to kind of help him through this whole, operation. And then she's talking about how, she only changes bedpans, but she misses, doing surgery and seeing people, when they're like vulnerable and raw. And in some way, it kind of turns her on. I mean, she gets real weird, man. Like, she's like, I used to think it was strange, but now, I don't hide anymore. And Teddy is in and out, phasing in and out, looking at her. And she starts to do some things that, you can only imagine, right? She is, she's off the chain. Let me just say it like that. She's doing some stuff, like, she must be on some stuff too, right? And Teddy's just like, he can't do anything about it. He's just laying there vulnerable, can't do nothing, but she takes the shell out of his shoulder. Meanwhile, Franklin and Osso, they're still trying to get away from the Vatos or whatever. So they're trying to hide out. So they're looking for a house, an empty house, just to wait in and stall and whatever, so they can give, the crew a call and come pick them up. So he's like, oh, right over there. We looking for a window right over there. So they go to the window and Franklin opens the window, right? They don't know whose house this is. There's no car in the driveway. So they jump in. Of course, Osso, he jumps in all clumsy and making noise. Right? Franklin gets scared because he sees the stuffed bear. And he's like, yo, what the heck, right? So he's looking at stuff. It's like, yo, the phone is right there, right? So Franklin tries to pick up the phone, and the phone is dead. Meanwhile, Franklin gets shot, which looks like a tranquilizer, in his back. And then this guy comes out of nowhere, and he shoots Osso as well. And it's like, what the heck is going on? Osso, Franklin falls on the ground. Osso tries to walk over to him. He flashes a light on him. And eventually Osso falls out as well. And, the guy basically, he's a taxidermy dude. And Franklin's like, what are you doing? And the guy's like, I told them if they broke in here again, I wouldn't need security. So it's obvious that somebody tried to break in his house, to this old guy's house or whatever. So Franklin's almost out of it or whatever. And he looks at the stuffed alligator. He's like, yo, you gonna stuff us? You gonna stuff us? And the guy's like, nah, you're too skinny. But, your friend, on the other hand, right? So he goes over to Osso, and he's like, yo, Osso. And he keeps calling his name, Osso. Yo, run. And he's falling out. Run. He's going to stuff you. He's going to stuff you. And he falls out. And, this dude, I don't know what he plans on doing, but, he's not happy that they broke into his house. Now, back at Parissa's house, looks like Teddy's a little better or whatever. So she took care of him, and she's like, the agency made you age not so well. So she's looking for the keys to his car because she's like, no bullet-ridden car out here is going to be unnoticed. So she goes to the car. She looks through the car for whatever. She's looking for something in the car, whatever she's looking for, maybe money, maybe this, maybe that. She opens the trunk. And what does she find in the trunk? She finds the $3 million worth of product in the trunk. So she's like, holy moly, right? She says it in her own language, like, whoa. So now we're back at the club. We got Aunt Louie, Uncle Jerome, and everybody, and they're trying to figure out who did what and where is Franklin, right? That's the big question. Where is Franklin? Franklin is lost. Of course, Sissy, she praying that this has nothing to do with that Cuban national that she was working with. And, they're just trying to figure things out. They're asking where Peaches is, and they're like, yo, Peaches is sick. And Aunt Louie is just like, yo, this is crazy because, all of us got hit. almost at the same time. It's like there was somebody on the inside letting them know exactly where we are, right? How could that be? And Leon and all of them trying to figure it out. So they're like, yo, where's Black Diamond and where's Peaches and everything else like that. So they're going to go and shoot to find out where they are, because all these people supposedly had the day off. Meanwhile, Veronique and Sissy, they're just sitting there like, yo, we got to do something. And yeah, they got a lot of concerns for Franklin, and they let him know, Jerome's like, listen, it's going to be all right. You guys stay here. I know you feel like you want to do something, but stay here, stay safe. Franklin is a survivor. He's going to be all right. And he would be crazy mad to find out you was out there in the streets looking for him. So, yep, Sissy, she is shook. And she's like, man, I hope this has nothing to do with the meeting that I had. So now Franklin, he wakes up and he looks like he's either in a barn or whatever, but no, he's in a cage and he hears some growling. And he's like, huh? He's, what the heck? And he sees, this big old tiger, man, in the other cage. So he gets up and he's like, yo, Osso, wake up, man. Yo, we got to get the heck up out of here. And that is the end of episode 5 for Snowfall season 5. Family, let me know your thoughts on this episode right here. It was a crazy episode. I mean, it went from, people trying to drive by and spray, the family, to now Osso and Franklin are locked in a cage with a tiger. And Parissa, she's on some weird stuff, right? So let me know your thoughts, your theories on this. And you know what it is, fam. It's your man, VACAY-J. And until next time, salute.